Thank you. You deserve a big glass of water after that. Ethel, thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. My name is Susie McCrae. And like I said, I'm a proud global founder for this company OnPassive. I'm in Amherst, Massachusetts in the United States. You're in for a treat today. Someone who cares about you invited you to this webinar, and you're going to learn about a business called OnPassive. And after the presentation, I will reopen the chat. I'm going to disable it right now so that you can focus your attention on what you're going to hear today. And after the presentation, we will open the chat and you can type in your questions, keeping in mind that today is about the guest, you who are joining us. Today's Q&A is for our guest. As you will see, we have founders joining us today from around the country, from around the globe, because we are in over 200 countries across the globe. So it's an exciting time with this business OnPassive, and I'd love to introduce our first speaker. His name's Marty Degarmo. He comes to us from New Jersey in the United States. For about 17 plus years, Marty was a project manager in the corporate world, traveling all across the globe. And then after that, he got into online marketing and online businesses. And he's done that for 15 years plus. The one thing I love about Marty is he's been around. He's seen a lot of different businesses and programs. He understands online marketing, and you will just enjoy hearing his story today as to why he joined OnPassive. He has a wealth of wisdom in this business, and he has a servant heart, and he's here to share why he loves OnPassive. Okay, Marty, it's all yours.
Fantastic. Thanks, Susie and Ethel. Great job as always, saying all the names. No way I can say half the names. I can't say John Smith. Anyway, everybody's welcome here today on the 10th of August. It's about 5, 6, 7 after 2. And today we're going to introduce to you a business that anyone and everyone, anywhere and everywhere can be successful with. And that's a big deal to me because I've been online, like Susie says, 17 years, and I've lost a lot of money. My wife's here, so I don't want to say how much, but just imagine it's a gross amount of money. And it was all because I got on in 2004 and decided, I want to make a little extra income because there's always more months and more bills than there is money coming in. And that gets old. Life's got to be better than just living paycheck to paycheck. Well, I did everything I was supposed to do, join different businesses. I can't tell you the first one, doesn't matter. But it's the same story month after month, year after year. And that was, you get in, you do what you're told. Things don't quite work out, whether the company's not exactly what they say they are, or you got to jump through so many hoops. Or the big one is you have a monthly subscription that just wipes you out. You actually are losing money every month. And I knew it was bad about 6 months into it when people are bragging that they're breaking even. Well, I don't know about you. I didn't get online to break even. I was doing that already, all right? I was already behind. I'm not going to jump up and down because, hey, guess what? I didn't make a dime this month. Well, it just doesn't make sense. So, like I said, I jumped in different businesses. Some businesses were good. The problem was they were rigged that about 2% make money. And unless you're that 2%, and what I mean by that is, it's not about brains, it's about time. Do you have time to spend 40 to 60 hours a week for 2 or 3 years learning how to market online? Most of us don't. I did spend that time, and I did finally learn how to market a little bit online. And very fortunate, about 8, 9 years ago, I teamed up with Mike Ellis here in Dan Street. Dan couldn't make it. And between the three of us together made a pretty good marketer. So, because we worked off of each other. But What happened then? Now you say you're kind of happy, you can build a team, large teams we built, and we get in the company, build a large team, we're going, and all of a sudden something doesn't feel right. And the next morning you get up and the company's gone. And you're like, oh my God. So everybody you brought in, you got to go in and say, look, I don't know what happened. Maybe they'll be back, all the same old sad story. So that happens, what, 2 or 3 times in years. The next time you get in, your auto ship comes in, and if you start to make a little money, they raise the auto ship criteria, so you got to pay more. So it never ends. You're just constantly fighting the system to even break even. It just didn't make sense. So when we got to the point where we could build teams, make a little money, if the company ran long enough, the one we might be in that month, what happens now? We can't bring anybody with us. We get in a business and you start to know people and you say, okay, Johnny, you sign up with us, we're gonna help you out. We try. But how many people can you duplicate what you did in 10 years? You can't. And what happens is these gurus, man or woman, it doesn't matter. They go on stage or they get on a recording or whatever, and they tell you, look, just do what I'm doing and you're going to be very, very successful. The problem with that is it's not true. It's just not true. If they could do it, it wouldn't be the same 2 or 3% walking across stage with this big 6-foot check. And if you ever notice in years' time, it's the same people in a different company because the company folded or whatever reason. Oh, your mind's not right, or you don't have a big enough why. Who wants to hear that crap? You already beat down and now you got somebody telling you, well, your problem is you just don't care enough. Well, I don't want to hear that. And I know people don't want to hear that. So about 2.5 years ago, working with Mike and Dan, yes, we built big teams and all that, but we still got to the point where no, we couldn't bring anybody with us. So I was seriously thinking about just stopping trying this online thing. I just thought I don't have it. I don't have it in me. I can't look people in the face and say, I'm going to help you be successful. And I couldn't because I can't duplicate what I'm doing. So thank God about 2.5 years ago, I was looking around, which I usually don't look. If we get into business we really like, we go after it 100%. But this time I said, I gotta know, is there something out there where everyone, no matter where you're from, no matter tall, fat, skinny, broke, can be successful online? Now, did I believe that company existed? Deep down inside, no, I didn't. I wanted it to, but I really didn't believe it. Well, I ran into Red Redford, who's here, and Peter Rogers, and I knew them from a previous business that we all lost money in. And I said, what are you guys doing? And they told me about this business. And my bar was low, okay? It wasn't a hurdle. You could walk under it, okay? And I said, well, can I make money? Can we make money? Yes. If we invite people, can they make money without having years and years of skills to learn how to market? Yes. They don't need to know how to market at all. Whoa. Now I'm saying, okay. And how about potential of making money? Unlimited. The company doesn't put up barriers. There's none of that. And I went, oh my God. And I said, the products, is it a left-handed monkey wrench or some crazy thing that nobody wants? Or is it some potion that you have to prove's better than the other 5,000 potions online? No, they're digital products, and they're being sold right now for billions and billions of dollars a year. Wham bam, I signed up. Right, I didn't need any more. If it just had that, I was happy. I went back to Mike and Dan. I don't know what I said to them, but I was so excited they signed up just so I'd shut up. So we got signed up and we learned about this business. And my God, every month that went by, or all the time, I learned that not only is this as good as I thought, it's better than I thought. And I'm so happy to be here. I can look people in the face and say, you know what? You're going to be successful if you join us in this business. And I mean it. And It's been unbelievable this past 2.5 years. We're getting ready to launch. And today, so that you understand how this business really works from A to Z, and super simple, keep in mind it's automated, is my business partner, Mike Ellis, is going to explain it to you in about 23.3 seconds. And you're going to know exactly how this thing works. And at the end of it, for guests only, if you're a guest, you're not in the business, we will answer your questions. And on top of that, if you'd like to hear it again, I will send you a recording of this webinar so that you can watch it at the comfort of your own home. Nobody's going to pressure you into anything. When you got something this good, we don't have to break arms. We don't have to shake you upside down. You either see it or you don't. I'm going to turn it over to my business partner, one of the best in the business explaining this business, if not the best, Michael Ellis.
Yeah, no, thanks, Marty. I appreciate that. Hopefully I'll do as well as you think I will. We're here to talk about OnPassive and building wealth. And it's the reason we're all here. We want to find a way to develop an income and build wealth. And when you start to think about building wealth, especially with OnPassive, you start to think about liberty and freedom. And we've all had that moment in our mind's eye that we asked, what if? And you pictured a life that you want to live. And for most people, they just don't find a way forward to make that a reality. And freedom and liberty, when we look at the world economy, it all comes down to finances. If you don't have financial independence, it's hard to make that dream a reality that perhaps you've dreamt and live that lifestyle that you want to live. You have to bring in finances. You have to find a way to find financial liberty, financial freedom in order to live that lifestyle that you want to live. And OnPassive, when we start to think about OnPassive, they've done some very, very unique things that have never been done in the history of business, really throughout the whole world. And as we think about OnPassive, we have to talk about Ash Mufareh. Ash Mufareh is the CEO. He's the visionary behind OnPassive. And when he started to develop OnPassive, one of the main goals he had was those individuals that were coming online, like Marty talked about in the last 10 years, what he's done. Those individuals coming online and trying to develop an income online, they had a way forward to do that. And when you can find that way forward, all of a sudden, those dreams that you once just thought weren't attainable, all of a sudden you start to think, maybe this can be a reality. So as we think about Ash and what he did, one of the first things he wanted to accomplish as he developed and built OnPassive was to give what people a way forward to develop an income online. That's such a big deal. And again, it's something that's never been done online before. If you look at other really, really large companies, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Amazon, any of these big, large tech companies, the individuals that develop those companies, they keep the wealth for themselves. Ash Mufareh, as he developed OnPassive, he wanted to share the wealth with those individuals participating with OnPassive. Now, OnPassive, it is a reality today, and it is a behemoth. What Ash and his team have done is really amazing. It is a very, very large corporation today, and it has a lot of moving parts, and we don't expect you to come in here today and understand all the moving parts of OnPassive. As you come in and continue to explore OnPassive, you're going to understand those moving parts, what Ash has done, and how powerful it's going to be in your life. But today, I really want to focus on what OnPassive can do for you, those individuals that are new, just starting to explore OnPassive, that will give you a way forward to develop an income. Not only that, but develop a residual income. And when you have a residual income, now you can develop wealth for you, your family, and your future, and live that financial liberty and freedom. So what I'd like to talk about today are 4 principles that Ash shared with Marty and I and Red, the people on this panel, 2.5 years ago. And when we heard it, it was extraordinary because we had never heard this before. And what it did for us, as Marty talked about, it gave us a way forward to bring people in and know they were going to be successful. And the four concepts I want to talk about are self-funding, for success, product, customer, and then I'm going to add volume into that as I get through the first 4. Really, really a big deal when you understand how they work, how they'll affect you, and how they'll affect your bottom line. As we came into OnPassive, the first concept that Ash shared with us was self-funding. And this was really, really refreshing for me because as you come into OnPassive, you will go out of pocket once. You will never have to go out of pocket again. Now, I had been in many, many businesses online, and I always had to pay a monthly fee, whether it was an auto ship or just a fee that we had to pay. And I had to pay that month after month after month, year after year after year. It never ended. And the problem with these other companies is I was never bringing in enough revenue to cover the cost of that fee, much less the cost of living, my monthly bills. And when I came in and I heard that OnPassive, it was a self-funding program. You would go out of pocket once, you would never have to do that again. It was really refreshing for me. The second one was something that it truly is unique. It's something I've never heard in the past 30 years of being in business, and I haven't heard it since I've been in OnPassive. And that concept is for success. And when I came in, although I love the sound of for success, had no clue what it meant. And the individuals that we bring in initially, they don't have a clue what for success means. They all love it, but they don't know what that term means. And really all it means is OnPassive is going to force you to build wealth online. And that's why we're all here. We're here to build wealth, to take care of ourselves, to take care of our family, to help our community, to get in that position where we don't worry about finances. That is what forced success is. And when you start talking about building wealth online and you start to explore what OnPassive is doing, you get very, very excited, not about the individuals that are on this panel. You get excited about what's going to happen in your life. So to explain forced success, building wealth online, I really need to get into the product side and the customer side. This is where it gets really, really exciting, and it shows you what OnPassive is going to be doing for everybody that comes in and participates with OnPassive. Let's start with product. And the product side of any company is really, really important. If you don't have a superior product, it's hard to develop wealth. Now, OnPassive is an AI IT company, artificial intelligence, informational technology. The IT products of OnPassive, they are digital. They are online right now. There are many companies that service these different niches, and the amount of wealth that's generated with AI, artificial intelligence, informational technology company, it is massive. As Marty mentioned, there are billions and billions and billions of revenue coming in to these niches, AI, IT, informational technology products. And when we think about these products and what OnPassive has done, and it doesn't really matter which products we pick in OnPassive, and right now there are about 50 of them. It can be an automated marketing platform that has all the tools we use to market online, autoresponder, page builder, funnel builder. Really all the tools we market online are in that platform, whether it's an automated, whether it's a educational platform, O Academy, which is a product that OnPassive has developed. It's a place where teachers can come in, put their curriculum on there, and teach students throughout the world. And by the way, when we talk about Academy, just to give you an idea of how big a niches OnPassive has gotten into, that niche does over $250 billion in revenue a year. These are different companies that serve that particular niche. Whether it's an HR department, a human resources department that businesses can come in and manage their HR department, whether it's a webinar platform like the Zoom that we're looking on right now, When you think about the products of OnPassive, and this is really, really important, they are all massive niches, billion-dollar niches. There are 50 products of OnPassive, and we'll talk about a couple of them here in just a little bit. But the product side has to be large enough for us to be able to develop wealth online. And as we look at the product side of OnPassive, it is hundreds, not just billions, but hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars of revenue a year. It's hard to get that out there sometimes because it is so massive. Our market is so large that it's going to give us the ability over a long period of time to build wealth online and continue that through our lifetime. The product side takes me to the customer side. And again, the customer side is as important as the product side. And as we think about the customer side and we think about OnPassive, even though we have the privilege to participate with OnPassive and build wealth with OnPassive, OnPassive is primarily a customer-based business. Why do I say that? It's the customer side that makes any business successful. And most people that come into OnPassive, they will come in because of the products of OnPassive, and all the products of OnPassive, proprietary, cutting edge, brand new technology built from the ground up, superior at a lower price point. That second thing, really, really important, lower price point. So these customers will come in, they're already using similar tools online, but they're going to come into OnPassive because it's a superior product at a lower price point. And because of that, these customers will come in and they're already paying a monthly fee for the products they're using online today. They will come into OnPassive, use the products of OnPassive because they're superior at a lower price point, and they will pay that monthly fee. Why is that so important to you and I, those individuals participating with OnPassive? It makes our income a residual income. And again, anytime you can start to develop a residual income, wherever you are, online, offline, but specifically online, now you have the ability to build wealth and build major wealth. So as we look at the customers of OnPassive, right now, our customer base is about $5.5 billion. Again, very, very important to have a large market. And our market is massive. And the customers will range from anyone from K through 12, colleges, small, medium, large size businesses, governors, governments, and personal use. And OnPassive, with their 50 products, they have a complete digital solution for all of those individuals online. There will be something in OnPassive for each and every one of those. Will we get all 55.5 billion people the first year? No, I don't think so. But we are going to get a very, very large portion of those individuals coming into OnPassive because it's a superior product at a lower price point. And they will be coming in using the products of OnPassive, and that benefits us because we're participating with OnPassive, and it gives us that ability to build residual income. So what is OnPassive going to do for each and every one of us? This is where it gets very, very interesting for you. As we come into OnPassive is going to go into their toolbox, their IT tools and their AI tools. And they're going to build each and every one of us a sales funnel, okay? And with that sales funnel, again, they're going to hook it up to AI. When they do that, this is very, very important. When they hook it up to AI, we have a sales funnel hooked up to AI, our business becomes 100% automated. And what that means is OnPassive is going to manage every aspect of our business. As customers come in, as they buy, as they land under each and every one of us, they're going to manage all of that, 100% automated. When they do that, they're going to reach back into their IT tools, pull out the tool of traffic. Then they're going to start driving traffic for all of us. And as they drive traffic for all of us, because the products are superior at a lower price point, customers will start to come in. A certain portion of those customers will land underneath us. That's how we get paid. And OnPassive, because of the way they drive traffic, it is going to be massive. Just a few months ago, probably 6 or 7 months ago, OnPassive decided to drive a little bit of traffic. Their goal was to bring in 1 million opt-ins. They did not put a time frame on it. In 4 days, they brought in 1 million opt-ins. Now, Marty and I, we've been driving traffic online for a very, very long time. We're very, very good at it. But when we saw what Ash and his team could do, bringing in 1 million opt-ins in 4 days, it was extraordinary. Now, they did that without AI, artificial intelligence. When they hook it up to artificial intelligence, they're going to be able to do that in 2 days or 1 day or 12 hours. And this is to give you an idea of the kind of traffic OnPassive is going to be bringing in, the customers they're going to be bringing in, and the amount of customers that are going to be landing on in your organization and getting paid for that. Just very, very quickly, how do we get paid in OnPassive? As OnPassive builds your organizations with customers come in, and you're treated a lot like a sales individual would be treated in a company. A commission sales, you come in, you make a sale. Let's say you make 10%, $100 sale, you would make $10. That's kind of how it works. But OnPassive, because it's hooked up to AI, it's totally automated. OnPassive is going to do all of that work for you. And as customers land underneath you, you will get a percentage of what they pay to use the products of OnPassive. Okay. So how do we come into OnPassive? How do we participate with OnPassive? To come into OnPassive today, there is a position. It is the founder position. It is a $97 position. And I'm going to be talking about 2 payments in OnPassive. And as I talk about these 2 payments, understand that you come out of pocket once, you will never have to come out of pocket again. And that's both with the founding position and the next position that I'm going to talk with. But the founding position is a really unique position because it locks you into OnPassive, locks you into the pay structure of OnPassive. Both of those statements that I've made, very, very powerful, especially the second one. It locks you into the pay structure of OnPassive. It's a really, really big deal. We are in the process of going into the launch right now. Right now, we're in pre-launch. It'll go into soft launch and then hard launch. I'll talk about that in just a little bit. But as we go into soft launch for the founding members of OnPassive, some unique things happen. OnPassive is going to start to build your organization. And anytime OnPassive can build your organization and get individuals in your organization, additional founding members in OnPassive, each time they do that, that is an additional stream of revenue. This is a really, really big deal. Anytime you can get additional streams of revenue, it cuts time frames and gets you to that place of financial independence quicker. So it's a really, really big deal. Above and beyond that, when we go into the hard launch of OnPassive, the global launch of OnPassive, as founding members, more traffic will be driven to the founding members than any other people coming in and participating with OnPassive. That's a big deal. Traffic is the mother milk of business online, and the more traffic you can get, the quicker you get to that place where you have financial independence. Now, there will be other bonuses within the founding members of OnPassive, and Ash has not shared those with us. But it is a really, really big deal to become a founder, lock your position in OnPassive, lock your position in the pay structure of OnPassive, and then get all the additional bonuses that will be coming from OnPassive for the founding members. And the reason those bonuses will be coming is because you were an early bird founding member of OnPassive. You are founding the company. And Ash does not forget that, believe me. And there are things coming that we can't share with you today that are really, really cool and get you very, very excited about your position in OnPassive. So as OnPassive does the global launch to the world, what do we all do? How do we all come into OnPassive? This is the second fee that we will have to pay in OnPassive. As OnPassive does a global launch to the world, all the founding members will come into OnPassive. They will pay a membership subscription fee. We think it's right around $250, give or take. We will all have to come in and pay that fee. Once we do that, we will go into our back office, click a button, become independent resellers of the IT product. And the reason I went through that diatribe is to give you an idea of what we have to do and then the title we need in order to get paid from OnPassive. And this all has to do with the regulators around the world. We have to become independent resellers of the IT product in order to be paid by OnPassive. Now, let's back up to the subscription fee. Again, this is one of the 2 fees we will have to pay. We will come out of pocket once. We will never have to come out of pocket again. all the additional fees, and this is a monthly fee, by the way, the $250, but all the additional fees that we will have to pay will come out of the profits that we make with OnPassive. As we come in and pay the subscription fee, we get all the tools of OnPassive. Those alone are worth tens of thousands of dollars. We're paying $250 for them. OnPassive is going to go to work for us now. They're going to go into the IT tools of OnPassive. They're going to use artificial intelligence. They're going to do everything that I talked about earlier, building the sales platform, AI, traffic, putting individuals underneath you. And as they come in and land in your organization, that's how you get paid. You get paid for a percentage of what they pay for the products of OnPassive. As we look at these four concepts, self-funding, for success, product, customer, and how they've been put together, this is unique. This has never been done in the history of the world, in any business in the world. Ash Mufareh had a vision, a way forward so that we could come in, develop wealth, develop a residual income, and take care of those financial needs we have. I believe as a founding member of OnPassive over the course of a year, and that's a really, really short time, at the end of that year, we will never have to worry about finances, period. Now, understand during that year period, when we're developing wealth online, developing income, residual income, the income is growing from day one to 365 days. It is continually growing because of the volume that OnPassive will be doing for all of us. So it's a really unique position to be in, to be able to take care of yourself, take care of your family, and start living that vision that perhaps you had and couldn't attain. OnPassive gives you that ability to live the lifestyle you want to live, to have the liberty and the freedom. I want to talk about volume very, very quickly, because again, it's very important to understand the type of volume that's going to be coming into OnPassive. And I'll use two examples just very, very quickly. One, I'll use the example of the Zoom we're doing today. This is a webinar platform. When we look at Zoom, this is a really antiquated technology that Zoom is using. But yet Zoom was able to go from 23 billion in revenue a year, and in 1 year go to 139 billion in revenue with antiquated software, okay? So Zoom is a big player on the block. They are one of the biggest webinar platforms online. OnPassive will have their webinar platform. Superior, built from the ground up, brand new technology at a lower price point. And when I say a lower price point, it's a massively lower price point than Zoom. And as we look at Zoom, just one product of OnPassive, in a year's time, I believe OnPassive will have taken the majority of the market share away from Zoom. And again, Zoom does $139 billion a year. Now imagine if we do that and that money comes into OnPassive, it comes to the founding members, because we know Ash is going to share the majority of the wealth with the founding members. And when I say the majority of the wealth, 55, 60, 65% of that. That is such a massive amount of volume coming in and a massive amount of wealth coming in. And that's why I believe as a founding member of OnPassive, in a year's time, you won't have to worry about finances. Again, that's one company in OnPassive. I want to talk about a combination of four companies, four niches in OnPassive that will give you an idea of the sheer volume that's going to be coming into OnPassive. And those niches are OConnect, their Ocademy, their OStaff, and OTraffic. And those are the webinar service I just talked about. They're the educational platform, they're the HR platform, and the traffic platform that OnPassive will have. Again, these are all IT products of OnPassive that will be introduced to the world. Just these four products today, with the companies that are servicing these niches, do about $480 billion a year in revenue, okay? Now, OnPassive, because their tools are superior at a lower price point, how much of that revenue are they going to take from the individuals that are servicing those niches? I don't know, 25, 30, 35, 40% the first year. Even if you stay on the low range, we're talking of over $100 billion of revenue coming into OnPassive. And I think it will be more than that. So when you think about OnPassive and you think about the revenue that's going to be coming into OnPassive because of what Ash and his team have done, it's remarkable. And then you think about the structure of OnPassive, why it was built, how it was built, and it was built to give you the opportunity to succeed online. When we look at OnPassive was built for you and I, those individuals coming online with the anticipation of making a living online, building income, building a residual income, and in the end, building wealth and leaving that legacy to our family. This is what OnPassive has done. When you look at OnPassive today, and today OnPassive is a reality, we are global. We are in over 225 countries throughout the world. It is unlimited. OnPassive will never put a cap on how much you can make, and they will never add any qualifications to OnPassive. As you look at OnPassive, 100% automated. You don't have to share, you don't have to recruit, you don't have to buy, you don't have to do any of those things that other companies for years made me do. And it was really, really difficult. OnPassive was made so that you would be successful. So as you think about OnPassive, think about those 4 concepts. Keep it very, very simple. Self-funding for success, product, customer, add volume to that. And then understand this train is on the move, and it's on the move to pick you up and give you that chance to be successful online. Always keep in mind when you're thinking about OnPassive, it's 100% automated. Okay. I recommend you come in, become a founding member of OnPassive, pay that $97 once out of pocket. And then as we do the global launch, pay the $250 once out of pocket. You will never have to go out of pocket again, and then get ready, because your life is going to change. It's going to change in major ways. You're going to find that liberty and freedom, that financial liberty and freedom that will give you the ability to live the way you want to live. So this is OnPassive. I hope that gives you a vision that will make you go forward, pay the $97, get involved, and then continue to explore OnPassive. Believe me, as you learn about all those moving parts, it just gets better, guys. That's how Ash has made it. And we're in a unique position to take advantage of everything OnPassive. I'm going to turn it back over to Marty or Red, however you guys want to do that. And obviously fill in any blanks I might have left. Go ahead, guys. Red, if you want to talk about how we come into OnPassive, that would be a terrific thing.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks very much, Mike. Fantastic presentation once again. Every time I hear anybody talk about OnPassive and how it's going to change people's lives, I just want to sign up again, whether it's Charles, whether it's Mike, whether it's Marty, anybody. You know, it always gets me so excited because I can see what it's going to do, not only to my life, but to absolutely everyone else's life as well. So you've heard Mike talk about OnPassive, you're interested, and you're thinking, yeah, this is something I want to get involved with. So how do you get involved with it? Well, it's super, super easy. You get back in contact with the person who has invited you here today. They will then give you a registration form. Okay, you put your first name, surname, and an email in there. Okay, you send that off, and then that will open up the payment gateway. Within that, you can use a Visa debit card, credit cards. We recommend you use this medium of being able to pay. It'll cost you $97 US. There is a $5 payment fee from the bank, so it'll make it $102, but it's instant, guys. It will go through straight away, and then you'll have access to your GoFounders, OFounders back office. You can also pay by various cryptocurrencies and other methods as well, depending on your country, but that will pop up when you log in. Now, the second time you log in, so that's the first time you make your payment, that all goes through, fantastic. You then log back in again, and up will pop a thing called an NDA. This is a non-disclosure agreement. It is quite long, guys. It's about 5 pages. It's lots of lawyer stuff and big words that half of them I don't really understand. But it's there for a reason. It is there to protect the company, and it's also there to protect you as the consumer and founder. Don't forget, we are a founder of this company. We are partnering OnPassive on this journey. to launch this amazing company. Within that, there is a lot of do's, don'ts, and protection for the company and yourselves. This shows how serious this business is, and it shows how serious OnPassive are taking this business. So give it a read all the way down to the bottom. There is 2 tick boxes you have to tick. Give those a tick, and then you've got a square where you can sign it on a tablet or smart device. Or if you haven't got that, you can digitally signature it with a desktop or laptop. Once you've done that, you're in, you're good to go. Then you can access your back office and learn about all the amazing things, tools and webinars, all sorts of stuff that's in your back office that I won't bore you with. Now, there is 2 things I want to finish with, okay, now that I've told you how to sign up. Now, the first one is, Mike mentioned it before about some of the massive online companies that are around at the moment. Now, one of them I'm going to take out of the hat is Amazon. Now, Jeff Bezos, he's just been up into the sky, edge of space. He's having a bit of a chat with all the other big billionaires out there. He comes back down to earth, and what's the first thing he says is, I'd like to thank my customers and my employees for giving me the money to do this. How arrogant is this person? It just goes to show that he wants to keep all of this money to himself to make him, as he is, the richest person on the globe right now. He doesn't want to give any of his money away. But did you know this point? That in the 18 years that Amazon has been going, it has produced 40,000 millionaires in that 18 years. We have a CEO who wants us to be successful online. He wants us to succeed. He has a heart for humanity and he wants to give back. You have got the opportunity to be part of that now. Just imagine how many millionaires in the future OnPassive is going to produce. I don't know what that number is, but I know one thing for sure, guys. It's going to be a lot more than Amazon. You have the chance now to partner us as a founder in this opportunity whilst we are having this period of time to be a founder. It's a bit like saying, would you be a founder of Microsoft? Would you be a founder of Apple? Would you be a founder of Amazon if you knew what you knew now today with these companies? You have the chance now, a $97 decision. Now, this decision is very important because every decision you make now will impact your life, your friends, your families in 2 years' time. So make that 97 decision today. Get back in contact with the person who's invited you here, and they will be able to answer all your questions. Or you can just pop it in the chat here or come on live and ask them yourself. Back over to you, either Susie or Marty.
Okay, I guess I'm going to take over. Great presentation, Mike, and thanks for adding your thoughts, Red. We always appreciate that. I'm going to open the chat now for everyone. So if you're a guest and you have a question, you can type it in there and we'll get to those questions. But first, I'd like to introduce one of our panelists. It's Charles Osan. Charles has a very lengthy career in IT, over 30 years. Charles knows everything inside and out about OnPassive. And what I love that Charles always reminds us is it's a privilege to be a founding member of this company. And we really love that when you talk about that, Charles. You have a big heart and passion for OnPassive. And if you want to just say a few words, and then I'll look at the Q&A and get back to a few of our other panelists to say hello.
All right, thank you, Susie. Thank you, Red, Mike, all of those, even Eto, for welcoming the guest. It's always a pleasure to be in this panel with you all. And just like Red says, every time one of us speaks, it's like, go sign up again. And believe me, I do sign up again. I have a lot of accounts because of that. Now, I'm just going to say something about 2 things I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about traffic. Mike mentioned traffic quite a bit, okay? And I don't want you guys to get confused. This is not cars and motorbikes going on the street. These are customers, okay? Customers. Now, traffic is the most important difference between OnPassive and any other company you've seen out there. We do have traffic, AI-driven traffic. That means customers. Targeted traffic. That means customers that are looking for the products that we are selling. Huge. That's what's going to make us succeed. I want to talk again because I know I've been there. Some of us are thinking. In fact, a lady called me yesterday and that she was worried. She's in OnPassive, never know her. She just called me. She's worried. I said, why are you worried? She says, is this one of those things that are going to go away? Because she's been in a few of those. Now, let me address that, my friends. 3 things that make OnPassive stand out. Now, some of those companies have 1, maybe 2 of those things, but OnPassive is the only company that has all 3. Number 1, do you have to recruit to make money? Do you have to sell to make money? And the answer is no. Number 2, do you have to come out of pocket every month to pay some bill, the auto ship, as they call it? And the answer is no. Now, some companies don't have auto ship, but you must recruit. Okay? Some of them, you don't have to recruit, but they have auto ship. Some of them don't have auto ship, you don't have to recruit, but let me tell you what they don't have. Legitimate, viable products. By legitimate, I mean legal. By viable, I mean necessary. Something that mankind needs, you and I, every day. If we don't have it, life is simply miserable. Think about your cell phone. Think about internet access, Wi-Fi. If you don't have those things, I bet you some of you will not even eat until you can get those before you can eat, right? So those are viable products, and we have them. The most legitimate, viable product in this day and age, we do have them, and they are digital. Okay, guys? I know Mike's talk about some of them, talk about Academy, talk about Osan. Now, those are great products. Over $480 billion in revenue per annum. But how about these products that we use every day, like Zoom, webinar platform? We use them every day. What about something like Facebook, social media? We use them every day, whether we like it or not. We have those too. In addition to all of those products, you can't beat those, my friends. If you are sitting on the fence, you need to get off that fence and jump in, okay? Like Richard Branson, founder of Virgin Galactic, first person to go to space, first of those billionaires that Red just mentioned to go to space. He said, if someone offers you an amazing opportunity, but you don't understand it, say yes, and then learn about it later. This is that opportunity. Okay, guys, back to you, Susie.
Well, thank you, Charles. I always love hearing you speak. It gets me excited, just like the rest of us. I'm going to say a few words, and then we'll have Marina say a few words, and then Andy. First of all, if you want a copy of this recording, you can email onpassivenation@gmail.com. I put it in the chat. You can also visit onpassive.com to see the products there, okay? Mike ended the presentation talking about automation. And I recall our CEO, Ash, talking about that. And I just want you to think about this in your minds for a minute. Whether you've worked in the corporate world, you've had your own business, whatever, running a household, whatever you're doing, everybody doesn't always produce everything the same way every day. People have bad days. People have bad weeks. People have bad months. Either there's a sickness, there's problems going on, there's other things they need to attend to, and they can't attend to the things, their business, their household, and things don't always stay together. I know I experienced that in my years in the corporate world and in part being part of an MLM, multi-level marketing. When people had bad weeks or things weren't happening, then things weren't happening. And what Ash Mufareh, our CEO, says, that's why this is fully automated. You see, artificial intelligence and machine learning and a fully automated 24/7 platform never has a bad day. It is constantly working on our behalf. We do not have to rely on, is Susie having a good day? Is Marty having a good day? Is Mike having it? This is like why it runs. And I just wanted to share that with you. So really, really think about automation. That system is going to work constantly for all of us. And it's going to provide for us in ways that we could never even imagine. So next, I'd like to introduce the lovely Marina Favitt, coming to us from South Africa. And Marina, her heart and soul is with OnPassive. She supports founders around the globe. And I'd like her to say a few words, Marina, if you'd like to share anything.
Thank you, Susie. Hi, panelists. Hello, Africa. Hello, world. I'm back. I've taken a little bit of time off. My mom passed away last month, but at her funeral on Friday, you know, I had, while my brother was talking, actually, while my nephew was speaking about the legacy that my mother left behind, he has no idea the kind of legacy that my mom left behind. At 87 years old, she bought a position with OnPassive as a founder. I explained the business to her, and she said, I need that because my whole life I've been buying and selling, flipping houses, but now in my old age, I don't have anything to leave your brother and you. And I told her about this, and she said, just whatever I need to do, you'll just help me along, sign me up. And she did. And I just sat there and I was thinking, wow, my mom, even though I introduced her to OnPassive, has left a legacy that we can be proud of for generations to come, because from my mom, it comes to my brother, myself, to our children, to their children, to their children. And God says in his word, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. And I just was overwhelmed with a sense of pride that even though my mom wasn't here, she knew what needed to be done. She understood it at 87 years old. She saw the vision and she said, I need to get this. Whatever it is, I don't understand it, but I need to get in. And I'm just encouraging all of you who are guests tonight, or those of you who have maybe watched the presentation before and you're still sitting on the fence, umming and ahhing. Life is too short. Get in now. Make that change. For all in. Once you've paid your founder member position, and once we launch, there's another one-time payment of around about $250. So all in, if you just think about it, for $350 thereabouts, give or take a few dollars either way, you can leave a legacy for generations. This is wealth creation, creating a family dynasty. You can do that, and everything gets done for you. So I just encourage you, you know, it's fresh from me. I'm at peace. I know that my mom made the right decision. She lived a long life, but there are people around the world with this COVID, this pandemic, people's lives are getting snatched away far too soon as well. And if they have a position with OnPassive, their family will never have a financial problem again going forward. So I just hope that that little bit, you know, just from me and the situation that I've just come through, I hope that that sort of, you know, hits on a nerve and you think, well, let me do this. Because as Susie, Mike, everyone that speaks so highly about OnPassive, everything is done for you, 100% automated, as Ash Mufareh says, just like a self-driving car. And I just encourage all of you to get a position. And if you can afford to buy a position for your loved ones, do that as well. You know, why do you have to keep on letting them count on you to help them out? Buy them a position instead of giving them a loan. Get them a position in OnPassive. That will be, they might not understand it now. You might not even understand it now, but just know that this will be one of the best decisions you've ever made in your life. So thank you from me, and over to you, Andy, in the UK.
Yes, Andy, there he is.
I love being last. I really do, Susie. You know, half of you guys steal my thunder. Marina, it's great to see you again. Thankfully, there is something I really wanted to bring that you guys haven't mentioned. Yes. I love the genius of this system because as customers come on board, they will have in their back office this virtual wallet and this wallet. And as more customers fall underneath or within their group, that little virtual wallet is going to say, by the way, Mr. Customer, if you were to click this button here, that money can move from that wallet into that wallet, and you can start to be paid to use the products that you're using at the moment. So if you think about it, millions and millions of customers, as they come on board, are going to start to get paid to use all of the various digital products that we have. So when was the last time that Google paid you to use email? Or when was the last time you used Zoom? We have to pay something like $8,000 odd a month to use Zoom. So that's why they made 128 billion last year. You know, this whole creation means that a customer will never leave. Microsoft tried to do this back in the 80s, and they created this platform that had Word and PowerPoint and Excel, etc. But that was a few products, and that was just for the States. And it took Microsoft over 8 years before it became what's known as a unicorn company. Now, we've got 50 odd products in 220 countries. The company is already valued at pre-launch of 5.3 billion. So we're already a unicorn company the moment we launch. That's unique. And as a founder, you're in the top 1% of the first year's customer base because they anticipate taking on 100 million customers. There's millions of customers looking for exactly what we have. As Charles mentioned, you've got a social media platform, we've got OConnect, we've got all of these various different things. Everybody that uses the internet will use it. So we have a potential customer base of 4.7 billion. And in our first year, we take on 100 million customers. We're in the top 1%. And guys like us on the platform, we know we're sorted. What we're now thinking about is who else can we help? And that is the genius of this business. So please get back to the person that introduced you and join us.
Okay. Thank you, Andy. Always good to hear you. There's a somewhat of a question in the chat. If you have questions, please type them in there. I would like one of the panelists to maybe speak about, as we all know, when the company launches, which is coming very soon to the globe, that's when we will start getting earnings from the company. And maybe someone can talk about, it's been 3 years that Ash has started OnPassive.
Hey, Susie, that's a founder's question. They can come on Monday and we'll answer any founder questions they have. But
I just wanted to maybe someone could talk about how long Zoom took, for one product, maybe.
We can do that. We can do that. Marty, go ahead and take that question if you're there.
Mike.
How long did Zoom take, Marty?
I think it was 4 years. They had 3,200 employees for one product.
Mm-hmm.
And this company's going to have 50 products, and they have hundreds of employees, but they got the best of the best. So the comparison, there is no comparison really. And Zoom will be very inferior to the product that OnPassive has.
Yeah. Thank you. The person asking it said that he did have some people he invited wondering, when was it taking longer? And I just thought it was important to understand the magnitude of the products we have and the amount of time. So we just encourage those guests that were invited by this founder to understand, like Marty said, 4 years for Zoom, one product, and actually a lot of what they're doing now is kind of old technology, so to speak. And if you want a recorded version, please email onpassivenation@gmail.com. Don't put your email address in the chat. It's kind of hard to go through those and get it. So please email Marty at onpassivenation@gmail.com. And also remember, go take a look at the products. Go to onpassive.com and there's a blog there. There's frequently asked questions. And the person who just asked, how does it work? You should request a copy of this presentation because we're just about wrapping up, but it is recorded. So email, I think it's email Marty at onpassivenation@gmail.com. Okay, does anyone else want to add anything else? I would just like to remind people that if you are a guest here, get back to the person who invited you. They will help bring you on board. We highly recommend you do that. We are in pre-launch, getting ready to go into soft launch and then official launch. And also keep in mind, if you come on board, you can invite your friends and family to one of these webinars. We have them every Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern time, and we have them every Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern time. And when you do hop on board as a founder, you can participate in our founder-only webinars, which are Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern time, where you can get all your questions answered. But once you jump on board, you get in the back office, you're going to be able to watch recordings of private webinars. You're just going to get more and more excited about it. So I'll just check the chat one more time, and Charles or Marty, if you want to end things, I think we're about done.
Yeah,
I just want to
so I just
respond
want
to Faith. Sorry, I saw that Faith was asking. Is that the same one, Charles?
I don't know which one you were talking about. Which one?
Okay, about how many accounts can a person have? You
Oh
can
no,
have as
yeah,
many.
you go talk about that, and I'll talk about something else.
Okay, great. Faith, you can have as many accounts as you can afford. The unique identifier in OnPassive is your email address. So you can have, like, for example, I'm using my name now, Marina Favit, with 20 different accounts, as long as I have 20 different emails, because that is your unique identifier. Provided you can afford it, you can have as many as you want. Obviously, the more you have, the better off your family and yourself is going to be. But you only need one to make a difference in your life and your family's life. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I was just going to talk about, I saw a chat flew by. I don't know if it's still there. And somebody said, I think 2018, and we're still talking about soft launch. And I'm just going to say this because we have guests here. For the founders, I addressed this yesterday. And guys, if you're a founder, this webinar is for guests. We do this every Monday for founders. And we talked about this yesterday, all right? So, and let me just say this because somebody mentioned it, and we do have guests here. We don't want them to leave something like, some different idea, okay? Now, OnPassive, the idea was conceived 2018 by Mr. Ashmore Farah. And the idea was to drive traffic because he's the best in the game of driving traffic. So we're gonna partner with some companies out there, drive traffic to them, and that's it. That project was gonna take maybe 6 months, maybe 8 months, 1 year max, and we would have been out, okay? But now, later on, we found out that some of these companies may not have viable products. Some of these companies may wind up going out of business. So why don't we have our own proprietary, built from scratch? And this idea came 2019 around April. Okay, so about 9 months later. So basically, summer of 2019, we decided to have our own products from scratch. And then we're gonna drive traffic to our products, our founders, market our own products. So these products started being built summer of 2019, okay? So based on what I see here, this is summer of 2021. So that's 2 years ago, all right? And we are way ahead of schedule because like Marty just said, Eric Wan, CEO of Zoom, for example, because I know him personally. He used to work with Cisco. He was director of WebEx, okay? He pitched the idea of Zoom They didn't buy it. The wedding started 2007. It was not until April 21st, 2011 that Zoom came on. So they were in pre-launch. Yes, pre-launch for 4.5 years almost before it came out, even with flaws, with a lot of flaws. And that's one product. So in 2 years, we've been putting together over 51 products, and some of them are out, believe me. Our staff is already being used fully. Some of them are out, and we're going to be getting to soft launch to get them started, to start testing them. So 2 years is not a lot, unfortunately. Ash, because of his mind, wants to share with the world, made it affordable at $97. And because of that, unfortunately, has attracted people who are not entrepreneur, don't have entrepreneurial mindset. Okay? And they're gonna come and think that 2 years is a lot. Believe me, I have been with companies, startup, more than 10 of them from the beginning, and none of them took less than 3.5 years. You can go do your research. So we are ahead of schedule. Because of what? Because we can now use what we call AI and renewable technology. We are blessed to be where we are today, and we are not convincing anybody. If you like it, jump on board. If you don't, all of us you see here, all the founders, we are fine. We are gonna be just fine. That's all.
Yes, it will benefit you far more than you could even imagine. One last question, just for clarity. Someone asked about the $97. The $97 you pay out of pocket now to become a founding member. When we launch officially to the globe, you will then pay once out of pocket again. We're thinking it's around $200 to $250. After that, every payment that month after comes out of your earnings. So yes, the 97 is out of pocket, and then the next payment's out of pocket. And after that, it automatically comes out of your earnings. And how great is that? Once again, if you want a recording of this webinar, please email Marty at onpassivenation@gmail.com. We've been putting it in the chat. Also visit onpassive.com to take a closer look at the products. But realistically, you guys, if you even catch a sliver of what we talked about today, whether you've been online before or not, whether you have tons of experience or not, it doesn't matter. This business was made for all of us, and all the things that Mike said, you know, one of them was we are all going to be forced to be successful, and it's going to be fully automated. Okay, so if anyone else wants to add anything, I think we're all set for today.
I'd like to respond to Emma. She says she's not a founder, and she was asking what happens if you cannot make that other payment, being your subscription. Emma, this is OnPassive will be a subscription-based business. So we will all be paying a one-time payment for the subscription to activate our accounts. That also includes traffic to our website to get customers signed up under us. So if you don't activate your account, you will not be able to earn the commissions from the customers that the company is bringing into it and place under you, because it's all automated. So you will literally be sitting on a gold mine and you won't be able to get any gold. So yes, you would need to make that one-time subscription, and at the same time, you also then get access to use all the digital products, tools, and services and be part of this great community. So I would definitely, that's why I say all in at around about $350. Just use that as a figure to start with, but you only pay the $97 now, or $102 if you're using your debit or credit card, and only once we launch, then we pay the roundabout $250 to activate our account, and then literally say, right, OnPassive, go to work for me, and I can go on holiday. All right, I hope that answers your question, Emma, and please get back to the person who invited you so that you can register using their link. Thanks.
Thanks, Marina. Appreciate that.
And I just announced our next webinar is a guest webinar, by the way, Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern. So if you become a founder today and you have loved ones that you want to bring in, come back on Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern, and we will do the explanations for you since you are new. Okay, that's it.
Okay, well, thank you, everyone. Great presentations and great insight from all the panelists. And thank you, all the guests who attended. Get back to the person who invited you. And thank you to all the founders in the chat, helping answer some of the questions as well. We appreciate it.